In this episode of Getting Geeky with Game Relief, I sit down with Trey to talk all about Fossil Find, a domino-based board game that's currently on Kickstarter. Stay tuned for that. This episode of Getting Geeky with Game Relief is proudly being powered by Table Breakers, super heavy solid metal poly dice set. They're extra large and extra heavy metal polyhedral RPG dice set for D&D, Dungeons & Dragons, Call of Cthulhu, and tabletop games and RPGs. What I like about them is they're bigger, heavier, and, get this, dangerous. Plus, there's a Christmas delivery. So go ahead and check out Table Breakers. They will break the tables if you're not careful. And I sat down with Sam, and we're going to have him on the podcast this coming week, so stay tuned. This episode of Getting Geeky with Game Relief is also proudly being powered by Fossil Find, a domino-based board game. Fossil Find is a domino-based board game that uses custom double 12 dominoes as game pieces running through November 18th. So definitely check out Fossil Find and stay tuned for this interview so you can find out all about it. This episode of Getting Geeky with Game Relief is also proudly being powered by Kill Merlin, a new board game for 2 to 4 awful wizards. It's a fun game with unique mechanics, high player interaction, and crazy gameplay. Back now to help unlock the hidden agendas and expansion. This is coming to you from Schumann Family Games, and it looks like it's going through this Thursday, the 18th of October. So definitely check out Kill Merlin, a new board game for 2 to 4 awful wizards, currently on the Kickstarters. This episode of Getting Geeky with Game Relief is also being proudly powered by one of Purple Aether's games. It's called Rodent Rangers, Small Heroes, Big Adventures. It's a family-friendly RPG that's inspired by the classic cartoons of Mousy Adventures. Think of Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers or The Great Mouse Detective, some of them are favorites. But yeah, so think of that, Rodent Rangers, Small Heroes, Big Adventures. That's on the Kickstarters through Thursday, the 25th of October.
Getting Geeky with Gamer Leaf, the podcast in which one man strives to level up his geekhood and helping you do the same, one battle at a time. Now, let's get geeky with Gamer Leaf.
Come with me on an archaeology adventure called Fossil Find, where you will collect bones along the way. You will have to overcome obstacles such as artifact auctions, grave robbing, and natural disasters. Dr. Dakota J. Wyatt.
Did that sound familiar to you guys? It didn't to me neither, but this is a story of Fossil Find, a domino-based board game, a new game that's currently on Kickstarter, and tonight we're lucky enough to have on the creator mastermind behind this great game. Is that correct, Trey? Is that how you fall in line with Fossil Find, a domino-based board game?
Yes, sir, and thank you for having us.
Yeah, no problem. Glad we could get together again. I know we had some technical difficulties last time, so I'm glad we were able to make it happen.
Yes, sir. I'm glad to find out that my computer can do this.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us on Getting Geeky with Gamer Life. We really appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem at all. Now, before we get into everything that's great about Fossil Find, let's rewind a little bit if we could.
Well, I got started in creating board games back in 2010. And you know how everything, it basically comes from Facebook nowadays. I was seeing if people were paying attention to me on Facebook, just starting to kind of like not categories. I called it the alphabet game. And just seeing if people were paying attention, and we would just play categories without the scat, basically. And then I figured out how to put that on the board. And then I started messing with a couple of other different ideas, and then, but everything I kept wanting to make a game with dominoes. And after about 3 or 4 months of thinking and trying to figure it out, finally it hit me, and then Fossil Find was born.
Awesome. And before that, did you play any tabletop board games or?
Back in the day, when I was a kid, I'd play Monopoly. Clue is my favorite. I like Sorry, Life. I mean, you just name them as a kid. I liked them. College, it was more card games. Phase 10, love Phase 10. And any of my games, you will notice that it's a whole bunch of board games and card games, and basically dominoes also. Everything just slammed together.
Speaking of that, it sounds like you've created quite a few games. So speaking of that, the word on the street is you created a new game that's currently on Kickstarter. What can you tell us about Fossil Find, a domino-based board game, Trey?
One of the best reviews I had, basically Board Game Capital, they've reviewed over 800 games, and they have never seen a domino-based board game. That's where you basically take the double 12 dominoes and you basically put them on a board. Kind of like Monopoly, Sorry, Clue, and dominoes, where you play Mexican Train, Chicken Foot, and I put it all on the board, and it's a whole new way to play dominoes.
Well, that's awesome. So if me and you sat down to play Fossil Find, a domino-based board game, what would our turns look like? How's a turn go down, Trey?
You basically roll the dice, move the pawn, and you just move around. You go clockwise around the board, just like almost all the classic board games. And it's just a roll and play.
Okay, so it's a roll and move with dominoes. How are the dominoes incorporated then?
The dominoes, there's 91 dominoes altogether in the double 12s. And each player gets 5 dominoes. And then on the board, there's 15 bones. It's like you're on an archaeology, or paleontology, archaeology. Just, you don't want to make those people mad using the wrong terms. And I have found that out. And there's 15 bones around. On each one of those, you put a domino face down, where the number is, where you can't see the numbers. So that's 15 dominoes. So let's say you got 2 people playing. Right off the bat, that's 25 dominoes. Then there's a grave site that you put 5 dominoes faced up. And so that's 30 dominoes. Remember, there's 91. And that's 30. Well, if you stack them all up in the center, in the archaeology site, which how I planned, there's 1 domino that's off, because that would be 90. There's 91. So I had to reconfigure how I was doing everything and put, it actually says lose. There's 2 spots that says lose domino. It's supposed to be loose domino or loose artifact, but it came out with an O missing, so it's lose artifact. So there's a spot that has 1 domino. That makes the 91 dominoes, and that's how the board game works. I mean, you're basically going around. Let's say you roll the dice. You land on a domino, which would be a bone square. You pick it up to see if it will help you get a scoring hand. Remember, on a scoring hand is like poker or Yahtzee, whichever one that you want to compare it to. A full house, which is 3 of a kind and 2 of a kind, that makes a full house. And then you can also score with a straight, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 5 of a kind. Everything else, poker and Yahtzee, is 4 of a kind. Well, I had to make it 5 of a kind.
Okay, and that's how you win. Once you have a 5 of a kind or a good hand of dominoes, the game's over?
No, the game will. You got a whole stack of dominoes in the center. The game will end if a timer runs out. If the timer runs out, the stack runs out, or you designate a point total, just like normal dominoes. You pick a total, a point designation like 100, 250, 500, 1,000. And anytime if the stack runs out, the archaeology site where you pull your dominoes after you get a scoring hand, you discard and get new dominoes. So as you're playing, the stack will go down. And if it runs out, you just reshuffle and restack.
Okay, and I like the idea when in the instructions that I read about how to shuffle them. You put them in a bag and you just shake it up. I thought that was pretty cool.
That's right, because most of the time dominoes, if you've played dominoes, you just throw them on the table, flip them over, and you just rub them around on the table. I don't like that. So my OCD, I had to put them in a bag because actually I didn't have a box when I created the game. So that was the easiest way to shuffle them. And now you can just chunk them in the box and just shake the box up.
Oh, I didn't think about that because, yeah, at first when we got it, I didn't have any bags, so that would have made sense.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think of that until here about a month ago. I was like, dang, there's the box right here that I always for 8 years.
So it sounds like, yeah, you said 8 years, so it sounds like a lot of trying and testing has gone into this game. During play testing, Trey, was there ever anything that you had to cut out because it just wouldn't work?
Well, just like I was telling you, when I was configuring it, there's 91 dominoes. And doing everything in fives, that one was throwing everything off. So once I figured out just, hey, you just make a little 2 spots with 1 domino, everything started working out. And then a couple of the corners, if you notice, there's a couple of different rules for them. And that was just playing with people. And I like it when the corners are really mean. But when you're playing with people, sometimes they don't like it that way.
Yeah, some people don't like to take that games or the corner where things are where we can be mean to each other. Yeah, I've heard that. We like a good cutthroat game here at the Leaf, though, so that's great. Can't wait till we can play it. I'm hoping this week things kind of got a little crazy, but we're hoping within this next week we can get it to the table, so that'd be awesome. It does come with a lot of dominoes. I didn't count them to verify the 91, but it's a heavy box when I went to pick it up.
5.4 pounds.
Oh, wow, yeah, quite a hefty game, and the art looks amazing and everything. Now, so the play testing or not, I know you shared it with us last time, but we had the technical difficulties. I like the story of how you came up with it, and I think your friend challenged you or something. Could you tell my audience about that, Trey?
Oh, yeah, I had a buddy of mine. He was asking me what was I working on, and I told him, well, I was working on this other game, but for some reason, I keep wanting to work on dominoes. And he just basically said, you can't do that. Nobody can make the game off of dominoes. And 3 months later, I proved him wrong. But I guess I could say I proved myself right, not him wrong.
Now, when it comes to Fossil Find, a domino based board game, what would you say you're most proud of, Trey, overall?
In my research, that it said, if you're going to create something that's not out on the market. And there is not a domino-based board game that uses the double 12 dominoes, which are the Mexican train. I mean, you not only play Fossil Find with these dominoes, but you can play any domino game that uses up to the double 12 dominoes. The Mexican train, the chicken foot. I mean, you name it, any of your favorite domino games. But one day, Fossil Find will be everybody's favorite domino game.
Well, yeah, for sure. That's what we're hoping, so that'd be awesome. Now, I guess you kind of answered my next question, because I was going to say, with all the games out there on Kickstarter, what makes your game pop or stand out as one my audience should go ahead and check out and then back if they like what they see?
I would say if you like dominoes, there's not as Board Game Capital said, 800. They've done over 800 reviews, and they have never seen a domino game and a board game slammed together that was so much fun. I mean, they've just never seen it, and that it was very fun to play.
And it looks awesome just looking at it and everything. Now, you got quite a few pictures of people playing it and different things as you scroll through your Kickstarter page or whatnot. If I recall, there's even one with you standing in front of a fun zone or something. Yeah, some kind of fun zone.
Oh, that's just a kid's place here in Pine Bluff that they have. They give away. You play games and you get tickets, and they give prizes out. And they hit me up on Facebook. They wanted to put some up there for I think it was the Supreme Prize or something. And so I took them some games so they could give them away.
So that's awesome. And just we'll make sure we leave all the links in the show notes. If another game board reviewer or somebody's listening or whatnot, or I find anybody, would there be any way that somebody else could go ahead and preview the game for you, or how?
Oh, yeah, they just send me a message on Facebook through wacogames.com. I have a contact information there. Just send me a message and we can talk. And if I think it's legit, because I have been getting all kinds of spam and stuff, and since I put it on Kickstarter, and I weigh through everything.
Yeah, I remember those emails. They come in as soon as you hit that launch button. Those emails tend to come in.
Yes, and I have gotten 100 of them, probably on the low end.
Oh, wow. It's gotten even worse in the last year and a half. Wow.
And hit me up on either Waco Games, or then they sometimes they send it through Kickstarter, but Kickstarter's really quick on I can see that I had a message. But it's not there. So I figured those were spams.
Okay, interesting. So yeah, and we'll make sure we leave the links in the show notes. So if anybody likes what they see on the Kickstarter page, they can go ahead and check it out. And like I said, hopefully within the week we'll have our preview up so people can see. It doesn't look like the funding goal is too terribly much. You're only going for the $2,500. It looks like.
Yeah, that's just the low end of what I need just to wrap everything up. And I mean, I'll take even more. I mean, if it got 100,000, I wouldn't turn it down.
And if somebody wants to get Fossil Find themselves, what is that going to take for being back in the Kickstarter? What will they get, and how much will it cost them, Trey?
Well, I have a couple of different tiers. $40 plus 15 shipping. So $55, you'll get a game that's not signed. I think it's $50 and $65. You'll get it where I personally sign each game. Then I have one for $75 where you get a signed Fossil Find game with a T-shirt and a car sticker. And then I have one for, I think it's $250 plus shipping, where you get 5 personally signed games, which would be good for Christmas if anybody's looking.
Oh, there you go. So what kind of delivery so are you going to be able to turn them around that quick, depending on when the Kickstarter funding? Are they going to be able to get them by Christmas? It says December on here.
Oh, yes. I've got it sitting on go. All I've got to do is sign everything.
Oh, wow. Oh, you already got the games already there. They're ready to go.
Yes, sir.
Wow, that's a different way to go about it. Usually people don't have them ready. So why Kickstarter, Trey?
Basically, the last option, I've been talking to a couple of people, and they said, hey, best way to market it is put it on Kickstarter. I had about 3 or 4 people tell me that. And so I basically just kicked off the Kickstarter this marketing campaign on Kickstarter, and I've gotten a little press out of it. So
yeah, a little bit. We're still looking for more. So if anybody's listening right now, go ahead and jump over to the Kickstarter page and check out and see what you got there. I will leave links in the show notes so they can go ahead and see. And like I said, we'll hopefully get our review up within the next week. And I believe you're also on Kicking It with Mr. King a little bit ago.
Yes. That was last Saturday, and that was a really good time. Really nice guy. I got him a game. He got it Thursday. Got it yesterday, and he's going to give me a review probably sometime next week.
Oh, okay. So yeah, look out for that too. It's like ours as well. And you can find that interview with Gerald King from Kicking It with Mr. King. If you scroll down to it's on the very bottom of the Kickstarter page, it looks like. So that's awesome. Now, let's see. Yeah, so I really appreciate you coming on with us. We don't want to keep you all night, Trey, but we really appreciate you coming on Getting Geeky with Game Relief with us tonight to talk all about Fossil Find, a domino-based board game that hopefully will become everyone's new favorite domino game.
Yes, sir. Remember, a new way to play dominoes.
There you go, and you heard it here first on Getting Geeky with Game Relief. And of course, unless you were able to see Kicking It with Mr. King, but hopefully you heard it here first.
Yes, sir. And I appreciate you for having me on.
Yeah, no problem. We're glad we were able to make it happen this time.
Yes, sir.
What is this place? What is it doing here in the Leaves computer? Oh, it's Kickstarter Corner with the Leaves.
So sorry we didn't offer you guys any treats before the episode began, but hopefully that was treat enough. Now, a couple other great games that are currently on the Kickstarters. You like dragons, don't you? Then you're going to love Dragon Lords, the Battle of Darion Relaunch from Wolflord Games. It's a skirmish-based card game in which two players build armies and battle head-to-head. They reach their goal pretty quickly, and there's still 5 days for you guys to get in on the fun action of this one. So definitely check out Dragon Lords, the Battle of Darion Relaunch, going on Kickstarter through Friday, the 19th of October. So this Friday, so definitely jump on over there. We'll leave all the links in the show notes just like usual. Another card game that doesn't deal with dragons, but is a deck builder. And if you know me, Game Relief, if you know me, you know I like deck builders. Well, Builders, the building deck building game is currently on Kickstarter as well. Builders is a deck builder where you're trying to build the tallest and most valuable skyscraper. I'm going to have them on the show this week as well. In fact, if you're not already subscribed to Getting Geeky with Game Relief, make sure you do that. It's going to be a jam-packed week and you don't want to miss any of our episodes, do you? I hope not, but so make sure you jump on there. They have 10 more days at the time of recording, so about a week to go when you hear this, a little bit over a week. Kickstarter does weird things with their timing on here, but it goes through next Wednesday, the 24th of October, so definitely check out Builders, the building deck building game that's currently on Kickstarter, coming to you from Broken Things. And like I said, we'll have the creators on the show later on this week. You may have heard us talk about this game if you've been following Getting Geeky with Game Relief from the get-go. You may not have. Either way, there you should definitely check out Warmonger, Halloween Limited Edition for 1 to 4 players. We reviewed the original one, where I think we're going to get the Halloween edition. But either way, you should definitely check out Warmonger Halloween Limited Edition. It's the ultimate card game of war, featuring a blackjack-like combat system, Warmonger power cards, and an automated robot player. So you definitely want to check out Warmonger, the Halloween edition. Going on the Kickstarter until next Thursday, the 25th of October. Speaking of Halloween, do you have your full horde of Halloween games? Well, we can help you with that. Dead Sprint, the game, is launching this week. It's a board game for 2 to 5 players that need to outrun a horde of the undead. Try to stay ahead on your turn before the horde takes theirs. They're going through, I believe they launched the 14th. Yeah, so they launch pretty soon here. Let me double check so I can tell you all the great day they launch. This Kickstarter campaign is going to run the 16th. They're launching on Tuesday, I believe. Tuesday the 16th of October. Let's see. Dead Sprint will be on Kickstarter from Tuesday the 16th of October through the 14th of November. So definitely check that one out. And you need to expand your horde of Halloween games? Well, there's another game that you can start playing right away, especially if you're on Amazon Prime. Check out zomsgame.com. And you can go back and listen to our review that we had of the game, or our interview. We sat down with Glendon to talk about it. Or you can just go ahead and order it straight away over at www.zomsgame.com. You definitely won't be disappointed with this game. Do you like content creators like ourselves, but you prefer to watch your things in video? Then you definitely want to jump over to Indiegogo and check out one of my favorite content creators in the video field. It's Your Turn and TLDR Game Series Year 1. They're board game video creators that focus on live stream playthroughs and discussions, reviews, and more. I really love their reviews, and every dollar helps, so go ahead and jump over there and see what they have to offer as well. Now, like I said, this week's going to be jam-packed, so if you're not subscribed to the show, make sure you do that in your favorite podcast catcher, and it won't be so sad, but it is a little bit of sadness coming to us because it's our least favorite time, your least favorite time. Time for us to get on with our lives, you to get on with your lives. But in the meantime, until tomorrow when we have another episode, make sure you get geeky, stay geeky, and bring others in the geek fold. And like usual, we'll catch y'all on the flip side. Gamer Leaf out.
Gamer Leaf levels up. Tune in next week to see if Gamer Leaf's luck holds up.